Yes, Kisra, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Meeting.
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 Yes. So in the morning class, we discussed about group discussion. The second main topic of this unit is meeting. When we are student, we came across group discussion. But when we talk about meeting, meeting generally happens in an organization with employees and other stakeholders. So, as a student, if you talk about meeting, you might have heard about parents-teacher meeting. That was interaction between parents and their teachers in order to know the progress of their student or any issue the parents feel regarding their ward. But when it comes to organization, meeting becomes a vital part of any organization because whenever the company want to interact with its employees, there are two methods. First, it shares some information in the form of memo, notice, circular. But these are the written form of information, and the company doesn't get any feedback from the employees. Only information is shared. So this is a horizontal type of communication when communication flows from top level to bottom level. But when it's come to meeting, it becomes the part of oral communication because during meeting, of course, one may present a document and a person may present something through PowerPoint presentation, but it is supposed that the speaker will speak for a long time and whatever he or she wants to convey, the listeners will understand that. And then, if anybody wants to give some suggestions, he or she is welcomed. Sometimes there is not any presentation, rather, an agenda is shared already, and on the basis of that agenda, all the members of the meeting who are invited, they interact on that issue, right? So meeting is entirely different from group discussion because meeting is never casual, right? Why? Because it starts with a purpose, and before meeting, the agenda is already circulated. So everyone who is supposed to attend that meeting is also supposed to give his or her contribution in the meeting, and he or she is asked, he supposed to speak when he or she is asked. So first of all, if you talk about the objectives of meeting, and here is to take opinion from members to decide on issue. Whenever there is an issue in the company or organization, the stakeholders means the employees, vendors, its buyers, and from where that the company buys raw material. So for certain problem, the certain aspect of the certain set of people, they are called for the meeting. And if we talk about meeting in general sense, means when the company is having a meeting with its employees, so they can discuss an issue. Then to take suggestions to solve a problem. The problem can be from management side, the problem can be from employee side, and if there is a clash between management and employee regarding any issue like increment, working hours, holidays, or any other issue, then meeting becomes very important because meeting not only help us in sharing information, it also provides a platform for making a solution of the problem, and it also diminishes the chance of a clash between management and the employees. So that's why meeting is important. If there is a conflict at internal or external level, then meeting becomes more vital, more important, more desired. when the company want to communicate a sensitive information with its employees. In that situation, the company doesn't issue any notice or circular in written form, right? In that situation, they called up for the meeting and they discuss with its employees regarding the solution of that problem. To take comments upon previous meetings, yes. What is the system of a meeting? Generally, a notice or circular is shared. That meeting will be held on that day, that time, and for that purpose. That is called agenda. And one more thing, venue of the meeting. So, when every member of the meeting who is supposed to attend that meeting, he or she will have the agenda pre-circulated before the meeting. He or she will make some notes, prepare some answers, prepare some notes that are supposed to be presented during the meeting. When a meeting is held, after the meeting, a document is prepared named as minutes of meeting. So minutes of meeting is a set of important points taken up during the meeting. How the meeting was started, what was discussed, and what was finalized, and with what note the meeting was ended. So that is called as minutes of meeting. After having the minutes of meeting, there are many people who are not able to attend that meeting. There are some people who are not able to say something or they have skipped something during the meeting. So after minutes of meeting is shared, everybody come across what was happened during the meeting. Then if something is left, that is scheduled in the agenda of next meeting to be held. So when the meeting starts, the first step is to discuss the outcome of the previous meeting, to make the employees aware towards an upcoming problem, to solicit their support in that respect. For example, there is some problem, some issue in a company, or there can be a upcoming problem, means that is predicted after some time. And if you are well prepared to fight with that, then it won't affect the company's economic growth. So for that, the company needs to organize a meeting, to call for a meeting. So this is also a purpose of meeting. So these were the objectives of meeting. If a question comes in your exam in that form, so how it can come? What is a meeting? What are the objectives of a meeting? Right? So these are the objectives. Now, this is the structure of a meeting. Means how meeting is structured. Every meeting have a chairperson. Means who will lead the meeting. Then an agenda. Agenda is set of points, set of things to be discussed during the meeting. Then a process for making decision. During the meeting, a process is held. Why? For making the decision on the points which were mentioned in the agenda. A well-managed discussion. We discussed about group discussion. This is also the same sort of discussion. Well-managed discussion, right? So this discussion is different from the group discussion because everybody who will be uh, addressed, who will be asked, only he or she will speak. It is not like group discussion that every member is required to contribute something. No, there is no mark system. One who starts the meeting, one who concludes the meeting. They don't get any kind of credit. Generally, when the meeting starts in corporate world, a senior official start with the meeting, and another senior officials end the meeting with a thank you note. So it is not like the group discussion that we discussed in the morning. And there are not multiple roles like appraiser, one who concludes, right? Report keeper. No, there is not like this. There is specific person who are given this task that he or she will record the whole meeting. It can be video recording, or He or she may be asked to prepare a report upon that, right? So next one is a productive physical setup. Yes, this is another point that is to be discussed. A productive physical setup. That's why the companies have meeting room, seminar room, board room for meeting only, because it is supposed that at least once in a week meetings are held. Sometime there can be meeting every day. Sometime there can be meeting once in a month. But meetings are held frequently because it is very uh, urgent thing, or it is a required thing, that all the employees of the company must sit together under a roof for the betterment of the company. So this was the structure of a meeting, basic structure. Now agenda of the meeting. So what is an agenda? Agenda means list of things to be discussed during meeting. That's why the agenda must consider the usefulness of a meeting. It should be formulated with an aim to giving depth to decisions. Why any decision has been taken? What are the pros and cons of the decision? What will be the outcomes of the decision? On which basis the decision has been made? Second, preventing mistakes. Yes, after every meeting, the members learn something, and it is supposed that the problems or the mistakes committed in the previous meeting might not be repeated. Evolving diverse thinking. As I discussed during group discussion, that it is not necessary that we agree with everyone. So there is huge chances of disagreement when we are working in a company. So it is not necessary that every person who thinks uh, different from the ongoing thought, he or she is not well wisher of the company. No, he or she might have uh, knowledge, some additional information, so that information can benefit the company. So diverse thinking is important. Encouraging the attendees in decision making. When a decision is made regarding anything and it is circulated after the meeting, the employees who attended that meeting, they felt that yes, they are part of the organization because the decision was taken in their presence, and they feel that the decision has their consent. But if the attendees of the meeting feel that this was not the point discussed during the meeting, they can raise their issues, they can raise their problem, that why it has been initiated or why it has been stopped, right? So these are four purposes of agenda of a meeting. Well, the agenda is usually presented by the secretary to the chairperson of the group committee and approved by the chairperson. This is what I have told, that there is a specific person who are supposed to prepare the agenda of the meeting, then maintaining the record of the meeting, and then drafting the minutes of the meeting, and finally to be sent the same to the chairperson of that meeting, and after that it becomes a written record, written document. So now how to prepare for a meeting? We must carefully read the notice and understand the purpose of meeting. I told you, when an agenda is circulated, agenda has 4 to 5 main points. First, venue of the meeting. Second, the person who has called for the meeting. Third, who are supposed to attend that meeting. Fourth, what is the time of that meeting, fifth, what is the venue of the meeting. So all these things are important in order to draft an appropriate notice. So when we go for the notice and understand the purpose of the meeting, we may be able to write what we are supposed to share during the meeting. If the meeting is regarding a problem, we can suggest a solution. So before starting the meeting only, we will note down some points that we are supposed to discuss during the meeting. So we must read the notice carefully. Decide what presentation is required. Easy. For example, make necessary arrangements at your office while you will be in the meeting, or notify the convener in advance if you cannot attend the meeting. Yes, it is not necessary that everyone can attend the meeting. There can be some issues. So in that situation, the person who is not able to attend the meeting, he or she must inform his company in advance to the convener, means who is inviting the meeting. And here why it is important, because if a lot of people are not available, then the meeting may be postponed. So it is necessary for everyone to provide his or her comments that whether or not he or she is able to attend the meeting. Prepare any materials or information that may be needed. We must collect the data regarding the meeting, and we must prepare ourselves if we are asked to speak something so that we can speak. Prepare answers to the questions that may be asked. Yes, there can be some questions which are supposed to be asked during the meeting. So if we have an idea, if we can guess, or we have those questions in advance, we can prepare them very well in advance. Prepare a list of points that must be covered. Again, the same thing, we must prepare our notes. Prepare a lot of questions that you want answered. Yes, as I told you that we must be prepare ourselves that someone can ask a question, but we are also required to prepare some answers of those questions, right? So this is what how to prepare for a meeting. Then there are some etiquettes of attending meetings. Wherever we work, there are some set of rules and some etiquettes. So it is supposed that we must follow those etiquettes, right? So what are those etiquettes? Prepare well for the meeting, make notes. If we are
Sir,
going, sorry,
सर ये भी एक तरीके की मीटिंग ही है ना मीट पे.
yes, of course, whatever the class we are having, it is on Google Meet.
Yes sir.
Actually, what is the purpose of meeting? I told you. When there are three kind of interactions. First, a group discussion. Second, a meeting. Third, an interview. These three things are called as serious form of oral communication. ऐसा कहा जाता है
Yes
कि
sir.
तीन सिचुएशन में लोग बहुत सीरियस होते हैं: ग्रुप डिस्कशन, मीटिंग और इंटरव्यू. If I rate 1 to 3, the interview is having the highest degree of sincerity or seriousness, because interview has only one purpose, right? The employers want to assess the candidate, and the candidate want to present his credentials, that how is the best candidate, why he or she should be selected. If we
Yes
go to,
sir.
yes, if we discuss about the point that is meeting, there can be many purposes for a meeting, but meeting is also very serious. Meeting can be one to one, meeting can be a group meeting, right? And then comes group discussion, right? So, as we are talking to each other, we are discussing on a topic. Why it is not a full-fledged meeting? It is not a full-fledged meeting because before, when I teach you, you do not know what I'm going to teach. Second, I have not prepared a list of points that is discussed during the class, because it may happen that you ask me a question and I answer that question. That was not part of the agenda, but that was the important or uh, a worth recordable part of the meeting. So that's why it is not a full-fledged meeting. However, it is a sort of meeting, right? That's why its name is written Google Meet. जो Zoom होता है उसमें लिखा रहता है Zoom मीटिंग ऐप, right? Skype meeting. So this class we are using this meeting platform for class.
Yes,
Otherwise,
sir.
we can have a general meeting, right? Suppose in your class there are 100 students, and when they want to interact with their course counselor, so that will be a meeting, because everybody who will have any issue will ask a question, right?
सर
So,
जो अक्सर सेमिनार्स वगैरह में होता है ऑडिटोरियम में,
uh, that is not sort of meeting. That is, of
सर
course,
किसी
get.
कंपनी से रिलेटेड जो मीटिंग्स होती हैं।
Uh, yes, you are right. In a meeting, it
यस
is
सर।
supposed that people are sitting in a way that they can look at each other.
यस सर, यस सर।
During group discussion, it also happens. During interview, it also happens. But during seminar and conference, it is not necessary. This is the difference, right? Huh.
यस सर, गॉट इट।
Next one is be a good listener. During the meeting, it is important that we must be a very good listener, because it is not a group discussion that whoever will speak will get some credit or marks. No, if you are a very good listener, you can feel uh, what how you can contribute to the meeting. In that situation, when you are asked, or when there is question time, suggestion time, feedback time, then one can speak. So be a good listener, must give a patient hearing. Then don't interrupt until it is mandatory. In GD also, I have told you that if someone interrupt you, you can very positively say, "Let me finish first." Right? So, in the same situation, we must not interrupt anyone until or unless it is highly required. Right? Follow the agenda. Since agenda is shared already, because people could come across what is the purpose of meeting and what was the possible points which will be discussed. So in that situation, we must follow the agenda. We do not ask questions which are not relevant to the meeting, which are not part of the agenda. Be an active participant. As I told you that we should not speak until we are asked to do so, and we must be a good listener. It doesn't mean that we will show laziness. We are sleeping, we are relaxing. No, we must be an active participant, because who can guess? Who knows when anybody may be asked to speak, right? So we must be active during the meeting. Don't monopolize the meeting. So if someone is in a situation that she can manipulate the meeting, means he can or she can uh, compel the chairman of the meeting to make a significant change in the meeting. Uh, There are many people who try to monopolize the meeting. Yes, there are some persons who try to dominate. They are not group leaders, but they want to become a leader, right? So, if someone is doing that, it is bad manner. It is not part of etiquettes of the meeting. Because in meeting, everyone is equal. Maintain the decorum. Don't raise personal issue. Meeting is a professional kind of activity, not a personal one. So everyone should be objective over there, not subjective. We should not discuss our personal issues over there. We can meet the person indirectly or directly after the meeting with whom we have an issue. Then follow ethics of verbal and non-verbal communication.
Sir,
Yes,
so what is a difference between objective and subjective? What type of?
objective means when we see the things as they are. Subjective means when we look at the things from our own perspective. So,
Yes, sir, got it.
right? If Kisra is attending the class regularly, one can say she is a good girl, right? But if I take my personal opinion, that may vary. Means in what aspect she is good, in what aspect she is not, right? So I must be objective, not subjective, because
Yes, sir.
because the relation we are having, the relation we are sharing with you and me, it is due to the platform we are using. It is due to the education that you are taking and I am giving, right? So we have a purpose behind this uh, interaction, right?
Yes, sir.
So we must follow the ethics of verbal and non-verbal communication because during meeting it is important to maintain an eye contact. But whenever some ask a question or answer a question, we must not look at him or her. Means how he or she could do that. No. So we must follow the rules of non-verbal communication during the meeting. When we want to present something during the meeting or presentation, there are some skills which are required. Why? Because presentations are a way of communicating ideas and information to a group, and you have heard about it during your previous classes. When we are a presenter, when we are supposed to draw attention of the people regarding any topic, our preparation does matter because just after few minutes people will analyze, यार इसने तैयारी नहीं की है, ये ऐसे ही आ गया है, या उसके कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है, देन डजंट मैटर हमारा कंटेंट कैसा है, पीपल विल नॉट बी सीरियस, द पर्पज विल बी फेल्ड. So you must have a content, and content should be presented in an effective way. These are made to make your information understood effectively and clearly. Yes, our information should be presented in a way that, of course, it will be effective but clear. The presenter must be clear, coherent, and convincing, right? So, whatever the presenter is presenting, that must be clear to everyone. It must be coherent, means according to the context, according to the agenda, according to the theme of the meeting, and convincing. लगना चाहिए कि हाँ सच बोल रहा है, उस पर विश्वास किया जाने लायक वो होना चाहिए. Then the format and style of presentation may be according to the purpose and set of audience. If we know about our audience, means if they are our colleagues, if they are persons from other company, or uh, the persons who are sitting over there, they are senior than us, junior than than us, or there is a set of trainees, interns. So according to that, our format and style should be different. Means our presentation should be tailored or customized according to the audience. We should not say we have made a presentation and doesn't matter who are our audience. No. According to the audience, we must modify our presentation. We must modify our content and we must tailor our way of presentation according to the audience if we want to get a outcome. Well, how to prepare and deliver. So prepare well before delivering the presentation. We must prepare before delivering. We can have a set of friends, two friends, three, or more than three. Before presenting something, finally, we can have a rehearsal. We can present the same thing with our peers, with our fast friends, who can give us good suggestion. So we must prepare well, and how we can check our preparation by rehearsing the presentation. Our presentation should be according to the time limit. If we are supposed to speak for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, then we must reframe our presentation in a way that it should be ended within time, because people feel bored when meeting becomes lengthier. Plan your presentation according to the time limit. Yes, know your audience before starting the presentation. That I have already discussed. Start your presentation by asking questions. Yes, important. If during the presentation we start our presentation by asking a question, as I did in the morning before starting the class, I asked all of you, has anybody heard about the word group discussion? And then I found that everybody knows about GD. So I didn't spend so much time while discussing what is group discussion actually, why it is called group discussion. No, I directly focused on other issues of the discussion, meeting, or whatever. Use sense of humor to maintain interest. If the meeting will be very serious, it will become monotonous. People might lose their interest, and it is not an easy thing to make the people sitting for long time, because everybody have his or her serious businesses, and if anybody is free, even after that, no one want to sit and listen to others. So if we have some ideas by which we can make our meeting worth listening or interesting in that way, it's a big thing. End your presentation with a thanks note. We must end our presentation by using some words, sentences, or doing some activities so that we can pay our thanks to our audience. Ask for comments and suggestions. So if you will get good comments and suggestions, then only we can have a guess that our meeting went well. Otherwise, no. So we must also ask for comments and suggestions. We can say this thing in the very beginning. शुरू में बोल देना चाहिए कि लास्ट में हम आपसे एक फीडबैक भरवाएंगे या आपसे कमेंट्स लेंगे या आपको सजेशन देना पड़ेगा. When you call to some company, some customer care, whatever, as I do, you might have heard before starting the conversation that representative, the caller say, सर आपको हमारी ओर से एक एसएमएस प्राप्त होगा जिसमें 1 से 5 तक रेटिंग दी गई है, तो आप प्लीज उसको जरूर भरें, उसको सबमिट जरूर करें. देन इंटरेक्शन इज स्टार्टेड, राइट?
Yes, sir. सर
यस.
सर 5 मिनट का ब्रेक ले सकते हैं?
हाँ, श्योर, नो इशू.
सर आप पानी पी लीजिए. ओके, थैंक यू.
Can we continue?
Yes, sir.
So, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. How to prepare and deliver.
Yes, yes. Well, we were discussing about that if we ask our audience for suggestions and comments, then we can think whether we were lagging behind, means what were the uh, cons of our presentation, and if it went well, अगर वो बहुत अच्छी जाती है, तो we can feel more confident that during the next meeting we can present our points in a better way. So rehearsal is very important. And in the beginning only, if we ask our audience that please give your suggestions, they feel honored. They feel that the presenter have prepared their presentation, not only presentation but a set of questions. But questions should not be uh, uh, in a way that more time consuming. The question should be less and easy. So for a 1 hour presentation for that kind of meeting, 5 to 6 questions are enough because you might have heard the management students request people to fill some performance surveys, and when we look at the survey first before filling up for the survey, we see, oh, 50 questions, 100 questions. People try to skip that. But if you say that, okay, only 10 questions, right? Then people feel, yes, we can spare some time. It's not about whether or not people have time, it's about why or when or how much one want to contribute. This is the issue. So, this is the structure of presentation during the meeting. Introduce yourself. Prepare your introduction, not only your biological information that will have. No, introduction means in which capacity you are presenting yourself, why you are asked to make that presentation, why you are asked to present yourself on that topic, and why you are the person who can give some input regarding that topic, and you can share your experience of that area. We can share our previous experience in that kind of situation. We can discuss a previous case study we have. So, prepare your introduction in that way. First, introduce your topic. First, introduce yourself. Then, introduce your topic. Then, state your purpose. We must tell why you are standing over there, and if anybody listen to you, what he or she will get after ending the presentation. Then, relate subject to the audience. If the audience are thinking that what kind of discussion will go on, and we are able to try to connect them emotionally, we can say they will connect with us for a long time, and they will provide us a positive and real feedback, because there are a lot of people who fill the feedback form just for the sake of formality. We also do these things sometimes. Then give a brief outline. So before starting the presentation, we must give an outline, as we are supposed to give a summary of the presentation after ending the presentation. Means just before asking for the suggestions, we must give a recap of the whole presentation. In the same way, before starting the presentation, actually, we must give a brief outline, means list of contents. and on which part, how much time you will spend, or how our meeting will progress, how our presentation will progress. Then, if you talk about the structure of a presentation, this was the beginning part, the first part. The second part is the middle part. The beginning part, why it is important? Because it is decided in the beginning only whether or not people will sit, or they will sit with what kind of mental setup, right? So the beginning part is very important. In the same way, if you talk about the middle part, of course it should be effective, but we have certain kind of tools that we can use to make our presentation, especially the middle part of presentation. How? Do not present more than four main points ideas, right? We should not make this middle part very lengthy, because people think that during the middle part, during the main part, we speak a lot. We use a lot of examples. For example, when you want me to explain something, if I give you five or six examples of every question, you might think it will take a lot of time. Let me not ask the question. So one example is okay, two are better, but more than that, they can make the question more monotonous. Support main ideas by facts. We should not give assumptions. We must not make a prediction. Rather, we support our main ideas with facts. Since everything have its past and it will affect the future. In that context, whatever has been happened in the past can be a learning for us, and we must gather some facts from there. And those facts, if they are presented during the present meeting, we will we will prove convincing for people. लोगों को लगेगा कि हाँ इसकी बात में दम है. Use sign posting. Sign posting means giving some signs, giving some examples in a way which are self-explaining, right? We can show some diagrams, flow charts, and we can use some visuals also, some pictures, right? Uh, with the help of this sign posting and visuals, we can make people showing their more willingness and involvement in the presentation, because at present nobody want to listen to others and everybody thinks that he or she knows a lot. सबको लगता है कि उन्हें बहुत कुछ पता है. This is the issue. Next part is the ending. When we want to finish, when we want to conclude our meeting or presentation, uh, we generally do what? We try to explain which were not explained earlier. No, that's not a good thing. During the ending, we should not explain something new. No, we just try to conclude our meeting, conclude our presentation, because lastly we have to invite questions, right? So when we are ending a presentation, we must summarize main points. Since we have already prepared our key points, main points, we must tell them. And if you feel that something was not explained earlier, in order to, in spite of explaining that point, we can give some additional points regarding that. तो उसको हम एक्सप्लेन करने की बजाय उसको कोई एग्जाम्पल हम दे सकते हैं. And of course, we must not present a new idea during the ending section. Rather, we can make a conclusion or a recommendation. Relate conclusion to the audience. Since some meetings are result oriented means just after the meeting, just after the presentation, it is supposed that people will give your feedback. And sometime, for example, the insurance agents meeting with people, and for example, there is an entrepreneur who is willing to get money from the investors. The people are sitting there who are willing to invest. For example, वो serial आता है. mm, there is a serial when people come, they make their presentation, and there are four persons. Uh, Sometime they offer some money, sometime they do not. Kisra, can you recall what is the name of that serial?
नो सर मैं नहीं देखती.
I also don't watch TV, but on YouTube I used to watch. Okay, later on I will let you know.
यस सर.
Yes, they in that serial, in that uh, context, what people do, they prepare some presentation regarding their product, and for fundraising, for an extension of their business, they want money. Uh, I will let you know later on. Rather, I will share some link of the videos like that. It will enhance not only your presentation skills, communication skills, but being a commerce student, business student, you will get some new ideas. Yes, Shark Tank. सुना उसके बारे में Shark Tank?
यस सर. यस सर.
हाँ. So that is very discussed or very popular show, I can say. Yes, show. आपने देखा उसमें लोग क्या करते हैं?
यस सर.
क्या करते हैं बताओगे? कोई देखा है आपने?
सर वो इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए आते हैं. इक्विटी मतलब अपना प्रपोजल रखते हैं. वो एक तरीके से डिस्कस करते हैं सब कुछ.
वेरी गुड, आपने अच्छा वर्ड यूज किया, इक्विटी. एक्चुअली इक्विटी इज प्रपोज फ्रॉम द इन्वेस्टर्स साइड, राइट? तो इन्वेस्टर्स है वो क्या करते हैं कई बार तो वो दे जस्ट वांट टू गिव मनी ऑन सर्टेन इंटरेस्ट रेट. फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकंड थिंग, they want to become partner in that project. Third, they
यस.
want they want some share in the profit,
यस सर.
right? Good. But you have used a very good word, right? So, uh, in that kind of meeting, in that kind of presentation, our every word, every sentence does matter. Every fact we are providing have an importance. So we cannot say, I believe that we'll do better. No, I have calculated that by following this on the basis of our previous result, we can think of that percent growth or this kind of growth in future, right?
यस.
And then we can invite for questions. We can ask our audience to ask questions. If we get a lot of questions, it means we were heard seriously. लोगों ने हमें ध्यान से सुना है, and they want us to speak more, or they want us to speak again, means for another meeting, another presentation of similar kind. We can expect that people will be there with more enthusiasm and zeal, right? Here are some skills, presentation skills, right? Presentations are a way of communicating ideas and information to a group. I think I have, yes, shared this already. Hmm. Well, to sum up, right? Because I want to sum up this topic itself, and how we can go for sum up. The objective of most presentation is either to inform or persuade the listeners about something, राइट? तो क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव रहता है हमारा कि सामने वाले को हमने परसुएड करना है और हम उनसे कुछ चाहते हैं, जैसे मैंने आपको शार्क टैंक का एग्जाम्पल। The essentials of presentations include clarity, coherence, and structured outline. Right? Preparation for presentation is as important as actual delivery. Right? Well prepared presentations help you to be more confident to overcome fear and anxiety. Yes, we may feel fear and anxiety because we are scared of the outcome. हमें रिजल्ट का डर रहता है कि हमने इतनी अच्छी प्रेजेंटेशन दी, पता नहीं डिजायर्ड आउटकम आएगा कि नहीं आएगा। सो इफ यू विल प्रिपेयर वेल, हम ये कह सकते हैं कि आई गेव माई बेस्ट फ्रॉम माई साइड, कम से कम मैंने कोई कमी नहीं छोड़ी। रिजल्ट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द ऑडियंस, लिसनर्स, रिसीवर्स, राइट? Practice of presentation ensures that you get familiar with the content and you time yourself. Practice also enhances the confidence of the speaker. Right? If you speak a topic twice, thrice, we can feel, oh, I know how to speak, what to speak. It happen. It happens with everyone. It happened with me only. Last week, I was supposed to make a presentation at one university, and it was based on new education policy 2020. So luckily, there was a program in my college, and there I was supposed to deliver a lecture. So the topic of that lecture was different, but I requested the organizers that I want to deliver a lecture on new education policy 2020, and they said how you will make this topic uh, in context with our present topic. So I did some homework and I presented in that way, and that went well, perfect, I can say, as I got the comments from the audience. And when I made my presentation at that university, uh, I got a better response than those. Why? Because before presenting the presentation at my college, I rehearsed by two times, and then I did the final delivery. And after that, when I went to that university, it was my fourth attempt, and I felt that there were many facts which was like uh, और टिप्स मुझे ऐसे याद हो गए, कुछ फैक्ट तो कुछ पॉइंट्स ऐसे याद हो गए, जैसे गवर्नमेंट जो GER है, ग्रेजुएट एनरोलमेंट रेशियो है, इट इज 26%, और गवर्नमेंट इसको कम से कम 50% तक ले जाना चाहती है। सो देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स जो ऐसे याद होगी, राइट? सो प्रैक्टिस ऑफ कोर्स मेक्स एवरीथिंग परफेक्ट। The use of PowerPoint can help you to feel more comfortable with your presentation and to make it more engaging, because there are many things which cannot be explained without the help of any diagram, graph, chart, or any visual aid. So the graphics can help us to present complex data in simple and comprehensive manner. Right? Now, it is the activity time. In our third unit, there's some activities regarding vocab and others. So let's have a practice of them. It will help us to understand this topic in a this unit in a rather rigorous way. So can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
So the activities regarding vocab itself. Here is a list of uh, what you can use visual ads for, means जो हमारी विजुअल एड्स है वो प्रेजेंटेशन को कैसे अफेक्ट करती हैं, उसके अकॉर्डिंग ये प्रिपेयर किया गया है। सो ये जो पॉइंट्स लिखे गए हैं, बिल्डअप, कॉन्वे, गिव, समराइज, नोट देम डाउन योर नोटबुक। अपने नोटबुक पे इनको नोट करो एक बार। डू यू हैव पेन एंड नोटबुक विद यू?
Yes, sir.
Yes, note them down, because the questions have inserted in two slides. Yes, one and two. Yes, actually these are 11 questions.
Sir, can you help me with first one?
Yes, for example, the first is dash an idea or concept, theory or hypothesis. You can use visual aids too. The sentence is what? You can use visual aids too. Visual aid को हम यूज कर सकते हैं किसके लिए, क्या करने के लिए? टू कन्वे एन आइडिया, कॉन्सेप्ट, थ्योरी और हाइपोथेसिस. तो हमने यहाँ पे क्या वर्ड यूज किया? कन्वे. कि अपने आइडिया कंसेप्ट को कन्वे करने के लिए या थ्योरी या हाइपोथेसिस कन्वे करने के लिए हम विजुअल एड्स यूज कर सकते हैं. सो वी यूज द वर्ड कन्वे. राइट.
Okay, sir.
हाँ. ट्राई फॉर सेकंड एंड फोर्थ. पहले ये तीन ही करके देखो, सेकंड एंड फोर्थ. एंड इफ यू विल फील एनी प्रॉब्लम आई विल हेल्प यू आउट. ट्राई टू डू दैट.
Sir, second, illustrate.
Yes, very good, dear. Illustrate your text with graphs, pie charts, graphics, or simply the line drawing. Very good. Third one.
Sir, summarize.
No, dear. I was thinking you will say summarize. Actually, why?
Clarify.
No. Sorry.
Clarify.
Yes, clarify. So, what's the difference between clarify and summarize?
Sir, clarify to explain something. मतलब अच्छे से
Ah,
explain करना.
yes, summarize is something different, right?
Yes, sir.
During summarize, we do not clarify.
Yes, sir.
Fourth point.
Sir, emphasis meaning.
Emphasis means किसी चीज पे stress डालना.
Build up.
Sorry?
No, sir. Add.
No.
Build up. Build up. Sorry, sir.
No, dear. Think again.
No, sir.
जब हम किसी पे जोर देना चाहते हैं तो हम क्या करते हैं, बताओ आप? जब हम किसी चीज पे जोर देना चाहते हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि लोग उसको सुने, तो हम क्या करते हैं? हम रिपीट करते
Present.
हैं. नहीं, हम इसको रिपीट करते हैं dear. जैसे हम सोच चाहते हैं कि लोग किसी चीज पे ध्यान दें, तो हम उस बात पर रिपीट करते हैं ना.
Yes, sir.
So see, what is the word equivalent of synonyms to repeat?
Sir, recite. Restate.
Restate. Very good, dear. Restate means to speak something. Restate, repeat the statement. Right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Very good. So now I can say you are getting. Yes, answer these questions also.
Sir, can I note down the option which was?
Answered, yes, of course. Which questions has answered already? You can note them down. So, should I show the previous slide?
Yes, sir, please.
No, show.
Sir, done.
Okay. Now try to do that with the help of those ones.
Yes, sir.
And
Sir,
see, yes, yes, see.
build up the structure or content of a.
So do one thing. Try to answer all the question at the same time. Then you will feel the difference. Don't go for one by one. सभी का आंसर लिख के देखो एक बार तब आपको पता चलेगा.
Yes, sir.
राइट. हाँ, और एक वर्ड हम रिपीट करेंगे. इनमें एक वर्ड है जो दो बार यूज होगा बिकॉज ऑप्शंस आर 10, क्वेश्चंस आर 11. राइट.
Yes. Sir, fifth का present.
हैव यू डन ऑल वंस? सभी कर लिए?
Yes, sir. Almost.
ओके. एंड first tell me the ninth and 10th.
Sir, ninth, add interest and variety to your presentation.
Very good. And 10th?
Give visual to develop an idea.
No.
Add, add
Yes,
visual.
yes. In the ninth and 10th, at both places we will use add. Now let us go to the fifth one. What will come in the fifth one?
Sir, build up, summarize.
Summarize. Yes, summarize.
Yes, sir.
Yes, these are little tricky. That's why I gave you time. Actually, with the passage of time, with the passage of the course of our syllabus, the level of exercises are becoming little advanced, right? So in the fifth one, summarize. Yes. What about sixth one?
Sir, give,
No, dear.
present.
Build up,
Oh,
right?
yes, sir.
Build
Yes,
up
sir.
key concepts or main ideas. Seventh one.
Give
Yes,
instruction for
yes,
an
right. Eighth one.
present.
Yes, present, right. And what about the last one?
Help the audience recall a concept or idea, either from
Yes,
their own
yes,
past.
good. So this was little advanced exercise, tricky I can say, difficult I can say. Okay, this is the activity second, right? And what you are supposed to do in column A, right? There are 10 words. It's a set of adjectives. Change into adverb. I think it won't be very difficult for you, right? Can you do that? कर सकते हो?
Sir, first का quickly.
Yes, good.
सर, इसका क्या होगा?
Noticeable.
Notely? Sorry,
Noticeably.
noticeably, gradually.
Yes.
Sir, steady. No, sir,
Steadily.
steadily.
Right?
Yes,
S
sir.
T E A D I L O. Steadily.
Yes, sir. Significantly,
Yes. Significantly. Significant.
slowly,
Slowly.
dramatically, rapidly, sustain,
Substantially. Yes.
substantially, nominal,
No. What will come?
nominally.
Nominally. Yes.
Sir, that was very easy.
Yes. That's why मैंने शुरू में कहा कि आपके लिए डिफिकल्ट नहीं होगा. Let us go for the third one. For that you have to note down these words. आपको एक बार ये word note down करने पड़ेंगे.
Yes, sir.
नोट डाउन करो क्विकली. Noticeably. Gradually. steadily, significantly, slowly, dramatically, rapidly, substantially, and nominally.
Done, sir.
Done? So
Yes.
let's go to the third. On the basis of those words that you have noted, right? Try to fill these blanks from those words. So first, let us do these four ones. Then in the next slides, there are rest ones.
Yes, sir.
Right? So take your time. It will take 3 to 4 minutes. Yes, Kisra, done.
Sir, first, rapidly, there was a rapid rise in this sale of. Sir, rapid.
No, dear. Uh, this is quite a difficult exercise in comparison of the first one. Okay, quick will come. Quick rise, right? There was a quick rise in the sale of television sets during the World Cup Championship. Sale of the television sets rose quickly during the World Cup Championship,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Hmm. So,
Sir, there,
mhm.
second, there has been a sustain, substantially.
No, dear. Okay, I want to help you here in that aspect. That uh, we have seen two words, adjective and adverb, right? So in the same sentence, when there are two fill in the blanks, in at one place we will use adverb, and in the second one we will use adjective or adjective adverb. Means we will use the same word. जैसे first one में quick आया, first part में, second में आया quickly. In the same way, second sentence में, right, there has been a dash rise in summer temperature in the last 5 years. So here will come noticeable, right? There has been a noticeable rise in the summer temperature in the last 5 years. Noticeable,
Yes, sir.
right? और नेक्स्ट में क्या आएगा? नोटिसेबली,
Yes, sir.
राइट? नोटिसेबली. सो थर्ड सेंटेंस, थर्ड वन,
Dramatically. No.
आई
The
फील,
cost of
राइट? Okay, let me help you out. What will come in the third one? The cost of living has been going up gradually, right? Ever since the economic recession. There has been a gradual increase in the cost of living since economic recession, right? There has been, fourth one I'm talking about, there has been a steady demand for courses in management in last 5 years. Demand for management courses has gone up steadily in the last 5 years, right? The
yes,
sale
sir.
of the sale of electric cars is expected to increase significantly once they are readily available. A significant increase is expected in the sale of electric cars once they are readily available.
Sir, it is not visible.
Screen is not visible.
Sir, I can see the fourth one.
Okay, okay, sorry. I forgot to. Yes, I forgot to click on the present. Now it is clear. I repeat the fifth one, right?
Yes, sir.
The sale of electric cars is expected to increase significantly once they are readily available, right? A significant increase is expected in the sale of electric cars once they are readily available, right?
Yes, sir.
International travel has gone up slowly but steadily in the last year. International travel has seen a slow and steady rise in the last year. There has been a dramatic rise in the cost of petrol in last 10 years. Cost of petrol has risen dramatically in the last 10 years. Scooters have seen a rapid fall in demand of recent past. The demand for scooters has fallen rapidly in recent past. On the other hand, I'm talking about the ninth one. On the other hand, the demand for motorcycles has shot up substantially. On the other hand, there has been a substantial increase in the demand for motorcycles. There is likely to be a nominal increase in the cost of rail ticket next year. The cost of rail ticket is likely to go up nominally in the last year. right?
Sir, I can't see.
Okay, okay, just a minute. Yes, in that PPT only 9 I have added, only 9 are there. Keval no he has, right?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Right. So this was the vocab activity, right? You can go for further PDF uh, for complete information or complete detail. हैव यू गॉन थ्रू दैट पीडीएफ? आपने वो ई ज्ञान कोश पे डाउनलोड करके देखा एक बार करके? मैंने लास्ट टाइम बताया था सबको.
Yes, sir.
सो हैव यू डाउनलोडेड ऑल द 4 PDFs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, Kisra, it is 5:27. I want to say that today we'll have to finish this class at this moment only, uh, because I don't have power backup and it is raining outside. I am facing a lot of disturbance, but I can do one thing on next Sunday, right? Uh, we will start our class by 10 and we will end by 12:30, right?
Yes, sir. No
Right?
problem.
Yes. So I will cover that 30 minutes at that time slot. And since that day, means 30th of July, will be the last day for this class, even I can take the evening class even 30 minutes more the schedule time, right? So on next Sunday, I will compensate that time, right?
Yes, sir. No problem.
एंड फॉर दिस टेक ए पिक्चर, ये आप एक फोटो लो तब तक. पेज नंबर 59 and 60 ऑफ द पीडीएफ, इसके क्वेश्चन आंसर आप करके देखोगे. इन नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल डिस्कस दिस विद यू.
Yes, sir.
पेज नंबर 59 and 60,
Yes, sir.
राइट राइट. एंड वन मोर थिंग, ये एक्सरसाइज एक बार आप घर पे करके देखना, दिस एक्टिविटी थर्ड, राइट? दिस थर्ड वन, ये एक्टिविटी जो थर्ड है, ये आप एक बार घर पे फिर से करके देखना. आई होप अभी आपको क्लियर नहीं हुआ होगा. So try to do that at your home. And इसको आप कैसे करोगे? Try to find out the difference in the words. आप देखना substantially, entirely, right? इनमें difference क्या actually,
Yes, sir.
right?
Sir, it is not present in the PDF.
Yes, these are present. Yes, of course.
Okay,
Uh,
sir.
Let me tell you, these exercises are given on page number 71 to 72,
Okay, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kisra. So see you next Monday, next Sunday, sorry, next Sunday,
Okay,
right?
sir.
Next
Thank
Sunday,
you.
next Sunday will be a full out class for you. In on next Sunday class, apart from doing the PPT from the fourth unit, right? You can ask me question regarding any of the content, any of the unit, right? We have covered so far,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
राइट. सो गो थ्रू द ऑल द पीडीएफ, सभी पीडीएफ पढ़ के देखना, जिसमें से भी कोई इशू है वी विल डिस्कस दैट,
Yes, sir.
राइट.
Okay.
ओके किसरा, थैंक यू.
Thank you. Thank you,
सी.
sir.
यस सुनील सर, सुनील सर, कैन यू हियर मी?